I want to add one more thing on the issue of malaria before we take some questions. There's a fantastic article that they referenced in National Geographic. It's really fantastic. In fact, there's a journal each year that's published called The Best in Science Writing, and it was included in that journal. Let me just read to you a little bit more about the challenge of malaria. It says it's difficult to comprehend how thoroughly Zambia has been devastated by malaria. In some provinces, at any given moment, more than a third of all children under 5 are sick with the disease. Worse than the sheer numbers is the type of malaria found in Zambia. 4 species of malaria parasites routinely infect humans, and the most virulent by far is Plasmodium falciparum. About half of all malaria cases worldwide are caused by falciparum, and 95% of the deaths. It's the only form of malaria that can attack the brain, and it can do so with extreme speed. Few infectious agents can overwhelm the body as swiftly as falciparum, and African youth can be happily playing soccer in the morning and be dead of falciparum that night. Falciparum is the major reason that nearly 20% of all Zambian babies do not live to see their 5th birthday. That's the cost. And so, as I said before, we advocate market solutions all the time to environmental sustainability. And we believe very strongly, especially in a beautiful area like this, in environmental sustainability and protecting the environment. But you cannot forget the cost. You cannot forget the unintended consequences, and you need to take those into account. So let me, before I hand it over for questions, I have one more question, and that is, we really appreciate all of you being here. How many of you know about the Washington Policy Center before tonight or are members? That's fantastic. We really count on your contributions to keep us independent. We don't take government money. In order to keep producing research and alternative ideas, we need your support. How many of you heard about this event on the radio? That's great, we really appreciate that. So, all right, we have time for a few questions. We, probably about 20, 30 minutes, we'll see here, but anybody have any questions for Ann Phelim? It's back there.
What is this going to hit YouTube? It needs to go viral to hit millions of people instead of just a few dozen that are here.
So when is this going to go worldwide?
You said YouTube. Well, first of all, we're going to put it into theaters.
Yeah.
It needs to go into mainstream theaters. It needs to go in the malls. You know, there's too many DVDs given out free that nobody ever watches. This has to go like Allegor into the malls, get it on the mainstream. You know, so it's there for you to see it, and then get it into releasing DVD and get it into the schools. So that when we've met one school child who's been forced to watch Allegor's film 4 times in different classes in science and community affairs, politics, and something else. So when your child is forced to watch an inconvenient truth, you can then say, that's fine, we appreciate all points of view. Here's another point of view, and you need to show this film in your school. Because our children are being indoctrinated. I think I call them hatcheries. Schools are now hatcheries for ideologues.
Can I ask, where's Molly? Molly, will you do me a big favor? I've got a job for you. Can you just go around to everyone? We love your email addresses so we can keep in touch and tell you what Molly's going to run around all the tall people. That's a great girl. If we could get all your addresses. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to collect enough money to have a national release. We went to Hollywood with this film and we tried to get it sold there to the big networks. You can imagine exactly the response we got there. So we're doing this independently. We have a distribution company who will distribute the film for us, but we're actually collecting money. And if you go onto our website, www.NotEvilJustWrong.com, you'll see what we've been doing. And we've had fantastic, amazing donations from all over the country. And people writing unbelievable letters to us, and children writing to us saying, we need this in our schools, because I've already watched this film so often. I mean, we've had really, really nice. A man sent us $1,000 yesterday morning. And stuff like that to keep us going, and you guys keep us going by being here tonight. That man there.
Does anyone track how much Al Gore flies around the country? I was at a San Francisco Union convention this past summer. He flew in for a 45-minute speech and flew out that same day.
Yep, and he came to Ireland and he flew in and flew out the same day. He met Bono, but then he flew out, you know. but he wouldn't speak, and he doesn't. He never speaks to the press when he's at these meetings. But you know, yes, it's a worthwhile thing to track Al Gore's electricity bill, which is 10 times the national average. But my attitude is, I want everyone to have a private jet. I want all the people in Africa to have a private jet. I don't believe being rich is bad. Yes, Al Gore, please fly around to your heart's content. Please keep flying. Just don't land. I was going to say something about the land. It's not a direct joke of plane crashes. But I wasn't going to mention the paper. No, but please, let's there's an organisation in London, and they're a pro-development NGO, and their slogan is Ferraris for all. They want everyone in Africa to have a Ferrari, and why shouldn't they? So, keep flying, Al.
I just want to know where we get data and information that we can use to teach our kids and grandkids and to oppose all the people that are for this global warming. Where do we go? Where do we get information?
Washington Falls is there.
Yeah, Washington.
It's a good place to start.
And we certainly intend, and it's one of the things that we're collecting money for, we intend to have this film in schools. We intend to make a huge campaign to get this film into schools, alongside our campaign to remove the Rachel Carson name off schools.
We're going to make a teacher's pack for education.
Yes, John, go ahead.
Can you comment? It seems that a lot of the young children have this assumption and belief that polar bears and penguins cohabitate together, which is untrue, except in zoos. And another thing, I didn't see anything about coronal mass ejections over the last decade of sunspots and solar flares.
Yeah. We tried not to come up with an alternative scientific.
Oh, okay.
I think there was enough to point to flaws in the current scientific thinking. There's only so much you can do. We decided not to go into, we decided not to go into the science because we just wanted to point out the bigger, more general flaws. We want to give people a language so that when they're in the pub or at the workplace and somebody talks about global warming, they can say, it was warmer before. NASA got their figures wrong. And once you say that, that flows the consensus out of the water. And that's not just something to argue with. The language just make people think.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for making this film. Finally, the debate is back on. I'm sure we have also many friends who don't believe that the issue of climate change and global warming is debatable. I went to the website yesterday, made a donation myself, so again, thank you. Look forward to the DVD. One question I have, though, is the gentleman who was the king of global cooling and then the king of global warming, Greg Beverly issued a cease and desist, can't use what he said. Did he offer any reasons why he changed his mind?
No, he just said that they were withdrawing his permission to use it.
So you're talking about change of mind about the interview or change of mind about global cooling and warming?
Cooling to warming.
Yes, actually, well, he decided that pollution would dim the sun, so it would cool.
I remember, then you had to put soot on the black soot on the...
That's right. So he decided pollution. So basically, the Clean Air Act brought in global warming, according to him.